Hi everyone, welcome back to Aiclo. My name is Fabiana, and this week I'm going to be sewing something that I've never sewn before, so I'm quite excited about it. I've always seen people have the most beautiful things to wear at home, and honestly, I've always wanted to be that person that just looks so nice even though they're just at home alone. And the first thing that comes to mind that I have to make is a beautiful silk robe. I have seen beautiful robes, especially online, but I've never come across the perfect robe, so naturally I've decided to make my own. I honestly don't know what color I want yet, so let's just see what I can find on the fabric store. And I'm thinking that if I find the right lace, I might actually add some lace to it, but if I can't find a pretty lace for it, I think that could go totally wrong, so it would just be better to leave it as it is. Aiclo has this pattern that I think is absolutely perfect for what we're going to be making. So obviously I'm going to bring you along with me while I do that. And I'm going to be showing you how we can make the pattern in just a few seconds. So before I start talking too much, let's just get started and see what we can make. I ended up finding the prettiest satin fabric. As soon as I saw it, I knew right away that that's the one I wanted. And it's so soft. And even though I looked for a lace in the store, I did not find any, but I remembered that I had some lace at home and I found this one, which in my opinion matches really good with the green satin fabric. Just look how delicate and sophisticated it looks. And it ended up looking so good. Now it's time for my favorite part, which is making the pattern. I'm going to show you how you can make this so quickly and so easily, so pay attention. First, I went into Aiclo.com and went into design tools, which led me to this library of all the patterns you can find in Aiclo. And the pattern I'm going to be using is this kimono one. You can find it on the dress section. And this is how it looks immediately on the standard avatar. But you're going to create your own avatar with your measurements so the pattern fits you perfectly. I already have mine created, so I just click on that and you can see how it looks on the avatar, which is how it's going to look on you. And honestly, for this pattern specifically, since it's really loose on the body, I'm not going to modify much measurements. I just modified the length. I did want it to be a little bit longer, so I clicked on that. And just for fun, you could also change the color of the fabric and fabric texture so you know how it'll look with your fabric. I think I did quite a good job with the color matching with the fabric. And honestly, that's it. That's all I'm going to be changing for this pattern. You can modify measurements, but as I said, I'm not going to be doing that. I always click on this. Here I can see how much fabric I'll need for this pattern specifically, which is a great tool when you're going to buy some new fabric for it. And then I just went ahead and downloaded the pattern in the US letter format, but as you can see, there's tons of formats that you can choose from. And this is how the PDF will look like. You have a layout on how it'll look as soon as you build the pattern, and the rest of the pages is just a pattern. Once I have my pattern ready, I just go ahead and set the fabric. Since this pattern is a little bit bigger, I had to move to the floor, which is not the best for my back, but it's okay. I prefer making sure that I'm cutting the fabric properly. And then I just laid out my pattern pieces in the best way I could with the fabric I had. I pinned it in place. I think that when it comes to satin fabric, it's really important to pin it in place as much as you can because it is a little bit slippery, unlike other fabrics. And once I did that, I grabbed my lace and I cut the shape of the arms with the same width of the lace. And I did that for the front and back panels. And now I just got to sewing. The first thing I did was attach the lace to the arms. I wanted to see how it would look immediately, and I was pleasantly surprised. I think it looks quite elegant. When I sew patterns from Aiclo, I always use my previous knowledge on sewing to see what would be the best way to sew it. But with each pattern, you can also download a tech pack, and not only you'll find information about the pattern here, but you'll also see some general steps you can follow to sew the garment. I was pleasantly surprised. This was actually a pretty easy garment to sew. I was scared because, as I said, I've never sewn a robe, and I don't know why in my head it was a lot harder, but thankfully it was not. I didn't know where I wanted to add the lace. At first, I wanted to add it to the arms and the hem, but I ended up deciding to only leave it on the arms. The lace does add some weight to the fabric, so I didn't want it to be weighed down on the hem as well. It was really fun making this. Sometimes I forget that if you learn how to sew, you can sew whatever you want. And I've been wanting one for the longest time. I don't know why I didn't do this sooner. And I have to be honest, sometimes when I buy satin fabric, it looks so bad when I sew it, but this one looked so pretty, so beautiful. So I was pretty happy about that. Once I have my back and front panels ready, I just pin them together and attach the entire kimono together on the sides and on the shoulders. I highly recommend trying it out, and in Aiclo you can download your first 2 patterns for free, or you could use Sew 20 for 20% off any plan. So if you end up making anything, I would love to see how it looks. And drumroll please, look how stunning the robe is. I think I nailed it with the color choice of the fabric and the lace. I think even if I tried, I wouldn't have been able to find such a good lace for this fabric, and the fact that I had it at home is just amazing. Aiclo honestly keeps surprising me. I never knew pattern making could be so simple, so fast, so easy. I used to not make some clothes I wanted to make just because I didn't want to make the pattern, and just seeing how good these patterns fit and how accurate and professional they are, there's honestly no going back after that. So what do you guys think? Would you make your own robe as well?